Well, hello, hello, hello. It's Rebecca Happy here at the Ottawa BuzzTV, and I hope you enjoyed last week's show with the launch of the Jen Hayward comedy show. And today we're talking about mortgages. You know, a lot of people are selling their houses or in the market for selling their houses, and they're looking for financing and they don't know where to start. And rather than the banks, you can see that there's lots of mortgage agents and mortgage brokers around the city, and why you would want to choose one over the other, we're going to find out today. We have Sue Hameed with Mortgage with Sue, and she's going to tell us all about the industry and how she can help us and how you would go and find one that works with you. So welcome, Sue, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what a mortgage agent does, or what can they do, and how can they help me get financing.
So as a mortgage agent, I have access to over 30 lenders. So what that means is I have access to many different products, and depending on your situation, if you're self-employed or maybe you have bruised credit, I have more alternatives than just the bank does to assist clients. We also have access to lenders who have very favorable prepayment privileges and very favorable terms and excellent renewal rates. So overall, it's a better fit for a client for long term. We'll save thousands, and most importantly, lower penalties than at the bank. So that's huge. I mean, life happens. Sometimes you sell your home before your term is up, and your penalty could be triple with the bank versus what our preferred lenders offer.
You mean like we have to change our mortgage before it's at the end, that they're going to charge us extra money?
Yeah, well, there could be penalties on breaking a fixed mortgage. So with the banks, they have the most, I should say, the least favorable calculation when it comes to penalties. And what I do is, you know, life happens, so I always like to place my clients with lenders who have the minimal penalties in case they have to sell or move.
So I know that sometimes mortgage agents actually work with the banks, but they seem to be able to get a better percentage rate than the bank that they're dealing with does. In that case, are you also able to negotiate the terms like you've just described?
Well, in regards to the rate, yes, we can definitely obtain better rates because we do larger volumes with the bank lenders. So we have preferred rates through the broker channel. However, when it comes to penalty calculations, they are standard with the big five banks. So what I always do is I outline all of these conditions with the client so they understand before they sign with the mortgage.
So do you recommend, even if somebody comes to work with a mortgage agent, that they actually look at offers from banks, or do you prefer that they look at these alternative lenders?
Well, and they're not alternative lenders, they're financial institutions, so they're exactly the same regulated as the banks. They just don't have huge overhead because they don't have branches across the city, right? So we definitely, I would explore all the options with my clients and say, you know, here's what the bank can offer, and here's what these financial institutions can offer. And 99.9% of the time, the rates are better with the financial institutions. They have less overhead, so they can offer better rates.
Oh, I had no idea. So I'd like to know, if you were telling somebody who was new to the market, new to the area, was probably buying their first home, or maybe they're just buying a new home because they just moved here, and they're looking for a lender, and they decided they want to work with a mortgage agent, and they went online to find somebody. What would you recommend that they look for when choosing the right person to work with them?
Well, you definitely want to look for an agent who does this full-time, who can dedicate the time needed to complete the transaction for you. You also want to make sure they have the knowledge and expertise. So just asking questions about how many lenders they have access to, what are the different products available for them. So if they're purchasing, the difference between a fixed or a variable rate mortgage, the different length of terms, and just have an open discussion when you're making those calls to make sure that you feel confident that the mortgage agent can successfully give you a mortgage that you need.
So when you talk about the different products, what does that really mean in your industry? Because it doesn't mean anything to me.
So there's different products available out there. For example, if you're buying a home and it's not perfect, you know, you want to renovate the kitchen or the bathrooms, there are products out there that are available that you could actually get these renovations put into the purchase price and not have to pay out of pocket. Because most people, when they're buying a home, all of their savings is their down payment. So sometimes they need an extra, 10, 15, 20,000 to redo the kitchen. So there's products available through some of our lenders where they will allow you to do those renovations after you move in, and they'll hold the money in trust until the renovations are complete.
And a bank wouldn't necessarily offer that kind of product?
That's correct, yeah. Not all the banks offer it, not all the lenders offer it. There's a specific few that do.
Okay, so you can provide a lot of information in terms of what's available according to somebody's specific desires then.
Exactly.
And a bank wouldn't necessarily provide that?
Well, the bank has access to only their products, so they're just looking at what they can offer in-house, whereas I can look at the client's situation and kind of place them with the lender that is the most appropriate.
Okay, so you want to look at how many products they have and what's their knowledge base, and how would you know if anybody is really trustworthy or if they're good or not?
Well, it would, of course, you could visit their website and see if they've had any, recommendations or clients who have posted comments. Word of mouth is very important. So generally, if you ask around and you hear all good things about an agent, then they're likely very trustworthy.
And if we hear bad things, we should run.
Probably, yeah.
If we ask around about mortgages with Sue, are we going to hear all great things?
So far, so good. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that my clients are very happy.
So if someone wanted to talk to you further in detail about maybe some of the projects, financing projects that they're looking at for the next few months, how could they get in contact with you?
So they can visit my website, mortgageswithsue.ca. They can submit a form for me to call them back. They can call me. My contact information is there. Or alternately, they can apply directly online on my website, and I will get back to them promptly. Okay,
I'll be sure to put that link here underneath the video for them. That's mortgageswithsue.ca.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay. Just one other question. What if I heard this story the other day of people that had talked to a mortgage agent, and they sold their house, and in the end the agreement that they thought they had wasn't what they had, so they came running to you for some help because they needed some financing for their next purchase. How does that work? It kind of sounds like a sticky situation.
Definitely. So when you're looking at selling your home and buying a new one, it's very important to get properly pre-qualified. So you don't end up short on money on buying the next home. So my only advice is when you are meeting with a mortgage professional is to go through everything. What I do with my clients is I go through all of the numbers very clearly, and we map it all out so they know how much money they're coming out with and how much money is left over to purchase the next home. And it's very important to account closing costs are very important, and to make sure you have enough funds. So my recommendation is to make sure you are using a mortgage professional who can give you the accurate information, because there is a potential for all kinds of things if you can't close on the home that you've purchased, right?
Yeah, that would be disastrous.
Exactly.
Anyway, thanks again, and once again, if you want to talk with Sue, her link's below this video at mortgageswithsue.ca, and her phone number as well, and you can follow up and see what they can offer you. So thanks for joining us today, Sue.
Thanks, Rebecca, for having me.